A few months ago, I sat down and did something I had been avoiding for years. I added up everything I had earned over the past decade and compared it to everything I actually had left. I didn't do this out of curiosity. I did it because of a quiet, nagging feeling, the kind you get when you realize you have been earning what most people would call a good income for a long time, and yet somehow your bank account doesn't reflect a decade of that. If you have ever felt that gap between what you've earned and what you have to show for it, this isn't a video that will make you feel better. But it will help you understand it, and understanding it is worth more than a temporary sense of comfort. 10 years ago, I started at $42,000 a year. Last year, I was at $78,000. On paper, that's a solid trajectory, nearly double and faster than inflation. After tax, that $78,000 became roughly $5,300 a month, which is a respectable income by most standards in a mid-sized US or European city. Here is where it actually went. Rent and later a mortgage always took the largest share. It started at $900 a month a decade ago and, between a mortgage and rising cost of living, became $1,800 a month by last year. Then came the car, financed like almost everyone's. First a modest one, then for years later, a better one because by then I could technically afford the payment. That payment settled at $420 a month. Credit cards came next, not from recklessness but from small gaps. A tight month here, an unexpected expense there, covered temporarily and never quite fully repaid. Minimum payments alone ran close to $180 a month, most years. Add insurance, a few subscriptions I barely used, a gym membership I visited twice a month, and the slightly nicer version of almost everything I used to buy the basic version of, and the numbers added up to almost the entire paycheck month after month, year after year. When I finally sat down and calculated it properly, the picture became uncomfortable in a very specific way. Over 10 years, I had earned just over $580,000 in total after-tax income. My net worth, including savings and any investments, was just under $31,000. Not negative, not a disaster, but nowhere close to what a decade of rising income should have produced. That is the hidden mistake, and it is one that almost nobody points out clearly. Rising income does not automatically produce rising wealth. It only produces rising wealth if your spending doesn't rise at the same pace. In my case, and in the case of most people I know personally, spending rose exactly as fast as income did. Every raise was met almost immediately with a slightly better apartment, a slightly newer car, a slightly upgraded version of daily life. The income kept climbing. The gap between income and expenses never did. Let's look at the real math calmly. If instead of upgrading the car at year 4, I had kept the modest one and simply invested the difference, roughly $200 a month, for 6 years at a conservative 7% average annual return, that alone would have grown to about $18,500. If the $500 or so a month that quietly went toward lifestyle upgrades across the decade, nicer restaurants, slightly better everything, had instead gone into a simple index fund the entire time, it would have grown to well over $80,000. Not from a side hustle, not from a better job, from the exact same income one already had, simply not spent as fast as it arrived. So why didn't that happen, not just for me but for most people earning a similar income? The answer isn't laziness or poor math skills. It's psychological and it's remarkably consistent. Economists call it lifestyle inflation, but the real driver underneath it is something more human. Every time our income rises, our sense of what counts as normal rises with it. The nicer apartment stops feeling like a luxury and starts feeling like a baseline. The newer car stops feeling optional. This isn't a character flaw. It's how humans calibrate. We don't compare our life to where we started. We compare it to where we currently are, and to the people around us who are spending at a similar pace. That's why a raise so rarely feels like it changes anything. It's absorbed by a new baseline before it ever reaches savings. If this pattern continues unnoticed, the long-term impact is not dramatic. It's just quiet. It's not bankruptcy. It's simply arriving at your 40s or 50s with an income history that looks impressive on paper, and a net worth that doesn't match it. It's needing the next paycheck as much as you needed the first one, regardless of how many raises happened in between. That is the real cost of lifestyle inflation. Not a single bad decision, but the slow, compounding absence of any decision at all. The people who actually build wealth on a similar income aren't doing anything exotic. They're not earning dramatically more than everyone else. What they do differently is simpler and slightly less comfortable. When their income rises, they let their savings rise with it before their lifestyle does. Not eliminating enjoyment, just making sure the raise gets acknowledged by their future self before it gets absorbed by their current one. It's a small procedural difference, repeated consistently over years, rather than a single moment of discipline. None of this is about guilt. 10 years of a rising paycheck without a rising net worth doesn't mean someone was reckless. It usually means no one ever sat down and looked closely enough to notice the pattern while it was happening, which is exactly what most systems around spending are designed to make easy to avoid. The only real difference between where I ended up and where I could have ended up wasn't income, was attention. If this made you want to check your own numbers, that's genuinely the point of this video. If you'd like more of this kind of thinking, consider subscribing. There's more coming.